make a video over here at Big Buck of some punch items and stuff that just in general needs to be done. These white looking concrete boulder rocks, those ladders up there by that tree, and there's rocks by that tree, bricks and blocks by that tree. Those need to be removed. Coming right down through here. We need to get all the unnatural stuff out of this ditch on the other side of that fence over there. The bucket, chair, little thing with wheels, little plastic container over there, another little bucket. Anything unnatural, we need to get up right here. We take these tree logs, just throw them over the fence neatly, just to make it look better in general right here. You can see down there on that bank down there, just the pieces of wood, the bamboo, any bricks, anything unnatural. This wood right here, landscape timbers, that needs to be gone. There's blocks right here, I discussed this before. The bricks, more wood back there. There's little metal wire things right there, they need to be gotten up, thrown away. All these rocks right here, bricks, rocks, metal stuff. Some more rocks right here. This hay and seed need to be put out. There's more trash over here. More trash. Those rocks right there could be just thrown down in the woods. But they definitely need to be got out of the yard right here. I don't want these rocks in the yard from here to there, need to be gone. And there's something laying on the ground over there like a blanket or something needs to be gone. Going over the paint on the front. Shutters need to be reinstalled. That fascia needs to be touched up just a little bit right there above the window. Obviously, little scratches in it. Foundation right here getting close to the front steps needs to be touched up. You can see it's real dark underneath there. Little holes out there can be caulked. I think that fascia actually needs to be painted across the front of this. Looks really white right there on the one board, but all the other fascias needs to be painted. It looks almost like the same color as the house. Over here we need to caulk this fascia. Right there. Touch up some more of the foundation right here. Especially underneath the porch right there. Touch up the paint right here around this. Need to paint the front door green. Need to replace that exterior outlet cover right there. All this trash up. Right here under this window, we just need to take and caulk these holes and just touch this paint up. The holes underneath the window. You take this extra wire, green wire, and just clip it off right there at the clamp and get rid of it. You take that bracket off over there. We need to put another coat on this fascia. Another coat of white paint. It's really thin. Need to remove all this additional wood back here. Probably use this 2x6 to go around this HVAC unit back here. Just make a box around it. Just remove all this other stuff. Back here we got fascia needs to be painted on both sides. Needs to be caulked over there. Fascia up on the deck up there. Those nails need to be countersunk. They're sticking out. All that unnatural stuff with the woods over there needs to be thrown away. The little flags wrapped around the trees down there in the woods need to be thrown away. Pile of trash right here by the deck needs to be thrown away. All the ground right here. These voids next to the post need to be filled in. There's all the screws for the deck that we need to screw the deck off with and bolt it with. Need to remove that piece of wire, the screen from the vent. Need to screw all these deck posts off. Need to get that thick looking stuff off the post. We're going to put a top rail on here, a 2x6. It'll need to be painted after it's put up. Need a joist hanger. Need to finish the joist hangers underneath the deck. Joist hangers over there. We need to bolt the ledger board to the house. We need to get the trash from underneath this deck. We'll talk more about the deck when I come through the house with it. Need to secure this handrail. Need to put some supports underneath the steps. Finish all this bolt stuff. Need to touch up the foundation paint next to these steps. You can really see it down in that crack. Need to finish the siding next to the door up there. We have to redo these gravel steps going down through here. They're about to just fall away from the house. Need to get that tree right there and drag it way down in the woods or drag it over that way. Need to get that lattice from behind the barn. Need to caulk the fascia and touch up the paint on the side of the barn. I also need to caulk all the trim around this barn and touch up the paint. Just caulk all that trim at the bottom, all the corner boards, everywhere where water can penetrate, we need to caulk that. Not so much worried about how it looks as much as it being waterproof. We need to caulk this fascia and paint this fascia up here and caulk those little bug holes on the fascia. We need to caulk this brick and touch the paint up, caulk the block so you can't see that crack in it. Just in general, it needs to be raked over here, all the unnatural stuff gone, and grass, and try to get those voids down best you can, the hump stuff with a hard rake, and grass and seed all this right here. We need to replace this latch on this crawl space door. This is what I'm talking about, caulking some on this all this trim on the corners and stuff, especially like that right there. Water just get right down behind that. You put the caulking in that. You caulk that where that fascia meets right there. Overall, everything looks great though. Just some minor stuff. We need to try to remove this piece of wood right here, the small piece, and then kind of brush that off and paint that. Just touch that up with paint underneath there. This needs to also be secured. That 1-2 before it there, and the weird one needs to be removed, but the whole thing needs to be secured down through here. Dryer vent needs to be put on. We can put some caulking in above the window and door there and touch up that paint on the wall. Yeah, we got to paint the fascia here too. It just looks real close to the side of the house. It don't look as white as the trim does. Need to paint this fascia. Touch up some paint on this deck, as you can see down in it. We need to take this right here and try to put something underneath it and screw it to secure it. And right here above the door, we need to caulk and paint this better. Remove the tape from around the door. Need to caulk all these little holes underneath the window here too and touch up the paint. Get another view of this this yard here. Once this dumpster's out of here, we can get all these little trash, little unnatural stuff up and hay and seed this. I'll walk inside the house. Yeah, this deck paint's just thin too. It needs to be repainted. We'll go cut breakers on, you can see. Should do it. All right, starting the entry for you here, we're gonna do some shoe down in front of the door. I'm also gonna have a written list of all this too if I miss something. So this is just kind of a way to look back at what I'm talking about if you look at something on the written sheet and you don't understand what I'm talking about. All right, so shoe in front of the door here. Door needs to be repainted. The hinges need to be put on. Of course, caulk and paint all the shoe and base. Need to remove this cable wire. Can't believe the floor people left that there. Remove it, and then we'll put a little piece of this extra floor that's over here just down in there, kind of glue it in there. Of course, touch up around those outlets. Need to kind of secure this outlet. See if we can't secure it in there a little better. Maybe fix up the drywall just a little bit around it. Need to, on all the vents in the house, they actually need to be clean and painted as ceiling paint. I wish we would spray them with a ceiling paint when we painted the ceiling. So they got to be painted, all of them. And here there's not much in living room other than just the caulking and painting of the shoe and base. Everything was pretty good in here. Some wall paint touch up, but house overall is looking great. It's just getting down to that nitty gritty last punch part of it. All right. Now in the breakfast, got some holes in the ceiling right here above this outlet. Need to be just caulked, probably fine. We got the base and the shoe, needs to be repainted and recaulked. Touch up the wall paint, put a chandelier up. Of course, do the vent, paint the vent. I'm thinking on all the windows in here, not right now, but we're gonna paint these with some brown paint with a small paintbrush after everything is done. Just paint the face of it on all of them. We'll wait till it's probably so it's clean and everything just to do that. Need to finish the shoe around the refrigerator here and around the island and just in the kitchen in general. Around the cabinets. Need to put that drywall back in right there around the outlet, stove outlet. Need to touch up the paint just in general. This door won't stay latched. No doorknob to be adjusted. We remove this stove outlet from in here and put base in here. Need to touch up just the wall paint and trim paint in general throughout here. A little bit of drywall repair in here around the doors and stuff. Looks kind of rough looking. Right there, right there. With some shoe, bottom of the door. That vent. I need to repaint that door. Laundry room, we need to put this panel cover back on. Hook electrical wires up first. Need to remove that hook from the ceiling. Need to paint the trim around this access panel. Caulk and paint it. Put the access panel back in and replace the access panel and paint it the ceiling paint color. Finish the shoe in here, paint the base and shoe. Finish any drywall imperfections that are in here. We need to caulk and paint this door frame. I think it's pretty much it in here. We'll hook the wire, get a new whip, and finish hooking up this hot water heater. I think that's it on the laundry. Oh yeah, Now the ceiling right here needs the popcorn needs to be repaired next to this light. This light right here needs to be, the cover needs to be secured better to the ceiling. It's loose and it's kind of hanging there. The sink, supposed to be a 60-40 split, and it's a single sink. And the pipes down in there, the supply lines down in there, I can see it probably going to be pushed up from underneath the house. But you can see where that is in there, center. I have to talk and see if Joe's going to let us keep that in the center, one single sink like that. Don't know about that. You can see some of that wall paint touch up right there. Moving right here to this little back foyer, we got some little holes in the ceiling that need to be caulked. We need to repaint the base and shoe. Need to paint this back door. A little bit of caulking on the back door, like right there. Let's go ahead and go out here to the back porch. That's where we need to put top boards at. 2x6 top boards. This has definitely got some touch-up paint that needs to be done here. 2x6 top boards. It's still got a hump right here that we got to get rid of. I'm hoping it's not that telephone pole under there, but that's definitely got to be gotten out of there. It's a big hump right there. Once we come across here and cut this board off, put these rails on there, top boards on there, we're gonna have to touch this paint up behind here. This is the nails I was talking about that are sticking out of the fascia. That needs to be caulked, smoothed over, and all these nails that are sticking out got to be countersunk. And you can see this has not even been painted out here. None of this has been painted. It's all this fascia back here. Just about all the fascia the face of the fascia around this whole house needs to be repainted. The face and underneath of it. You see those steps good from up here where it needs to be redone. And there's some boards here too that's not screwed off. You see the deck boards aren't screwed everywhere, so that needs to be finished. And of course the siding right there next to the door, siding over here next to the door. We just need to finish painting this the same color. We got holes underneath the window, needs to be caulked and paint touched up. You can see it's like two-tone paint. I don't know what happened, but it's like a two-tone. This whole thing needs to be touched up back here. Back inside now. This door don't latch right. Coming into the master, we got drywall repair right here that needs to be repaired. This door needs to be installed, all painted up and all that caulked. Right here at the ceiling, this needs to be repaired. Another part of the ceiling. This corner right here needs some attention. Drywall. These ceiling fans need at least a foot down rod on them. I think I overshot with the 2 feet, but it definitely needs at least a foot. Of course, the vents through the whole house are like this. They need to be painted and cleaned and painted. Trim in here probably wouldn't hurt just to repaint it. Kind of dingy looking. This sheetrock, of course, got to be sanded and finished and the stuff touched up, outlet put back on. And then this wall, we got a crack up here on the drywall. There's not much in this room for the most part. It's just about getting there. A little bit of drywall mud maybe around that outlet. Pretty much it for this one though. It's just getting pretty close. Closet in here. I think everything's good in here except for the bottom, the top part of this light switch needs to be painted. I think they put the wrong, we're gonna replace the toilet in here, put shoe in front of the tub shower, caulk and paint all the shoe, of course. I want to caulk and oil-based prime this trim around this tub and shower, all the way around it. We got to finish putting in the tub valves. We need to remove this old crappy caulk from all the way around the tub and replace it. I think they put the wrong vanity in here. Got a lot of room in here and no room in the other bathroom. Fix it around that light a little bit. Of course, the vents, clean and paint. A little bit of sheetrock mud right here, not nothing much. It's getting there though. Underneath here, you're gonna have the P-trap valves and all that put on. Definitely want to replace this toilet. We want to lower that pressure line and replace the valve and hose. Caulk and paint all the shoe. Should be about it from here. Got the appliances in here. I think that was it. Down the hallway, not much in here, just caulk and paint the shoe. A little bit of repair underneath that outlet, put an outlet cover on. Got some wall paint up there we need to touch up. Drywall around this right here we need to touch up. I want to try to pull this cover off and see if we can't clean and straighten and repaint it with oil-based primer and put it back. See if we can't get it quit looking so like it's so damaged. Remove the screws and caulk these holes in this door, touch up the paint. That's about it for the hallway. Move into this one room. Doors, you got to cut the door down. Door scrubbing real bad. So we cut the door down, touch up all the paint, trim, wall paint, reinstall these closet doors. They got to be cut down. Put the hardware on them, the little pulls on them. If you got paint that's not finished like this on this hardware, you got to paint it all the way. Of course, paint the vents. That's pretty much it. It's kind of like that pretty much in every room. You got to cut the door down in this room, install the closet doors and hardware, touch up any trim or wall paint. And here you need a blank electrical cover. Pretty much it though in here. And here we got, move that wire from the vent, of course paint the vent, touch up the wall paint, touch up the trim paint, install the closet doors. If there's a gap like that, like there is right here, we want to caulk that and then paint it where the hardware meets the wood. Got to finish the sheetrock here in the corner. This little bubbly looking right here needs to be a little bit more cut out and some more mud put in. This door I think is fine. Don't need to be cut. Moving into the secondary master. Pretty much same thing. Touch up the wall paint, paint the vent, touch up the trim paint, install the closet doors, touch up all the trim up there like that. This door needs to be cut down, remove this chunk of mud off the door, make sure the door closes properly, not scrubbing. This bathroom. A lot of drywall repair still in here. Under the window, behind the sink, under the light, kind of above the light, right here behind the toilet. Pull all that loose stuff off and mud that real good. Take this ugly little bubble gum caulk off and mud it all the way around this. It looks smooth looking. Up there, just in general, all the way around it. Caulk and paint the shoe and base. I'm gonna put 5 closet shelves in here. You can touch this door up. We'll place that toilet and the hose. Need to center that vanity light until it's out of center. Put on the valves and hoses and P-trap in here. Shoe across the tub there. That's pretty much it in here. Bathrooms need a lot of attention, but they need more attention than anything else. In the utility room, I want to take this duct out of here. Just remove it and just put a square piece of sheetrock up there. Just cut the drywall out, put a flush square piece up there. Hall bath. I'm gonna put 5 shelves in this nook. I don't want my camera's looking blurry. 5 shelves in this nook. Put that cover back on that. Then you get the popcorn off this vent and repaint it. Just touch up the paint in general on all the trim, doors, repaint all the base and caulk the shoe and base. Again, lots of drywall repairs still in here behind the toilet. And I think they put the wrong band in here. They got this overhanging a lot, and they got it real close to the toilet. It's almost like they need to trade this one for the one in the other master. Sheetrock repair there, sheetrock repair there. Some drywall tape up there, right there. This tape above the shower right here needs to be peeled off. It's no good. Right there. Either finish putting this tub valve in, drywall mud here. Finish this right here. Really rough looking around this. All up in that corner. Get all this ugly caulking out and recaulk it. Throw this toilet away, replace the toilet and the hose. There's a picture of sink, P-trap, hoses and all that, valves. Need to fix this door with some brad nails and caulk it and paint it. Basically standard stuff, self-explanatory. That's pretty much it. For the most part, it looks great though.